My future ex-husband had an online affair with a 19-year-old girl and is pissed off it ended. For the past month, my F42 husband has been getting angry at the smallest things. It is very unusual of him to act in that manner since normally he is kind and easygoing. He recently turned 44, so his sister bought him a new phone as a gift. We have always put passwords on our phones, however, throughout our marriage, neither of us have had the need to ask for the password or suspect anything. Because of his recent temper, I thought to myself maybe there is something on his old phone that could tell me why he has been so angry. While he was away at work, I figured out the password and unlocked the old phone. I found his messages where he was talking to a 19-year-old girl. This wasn't a catfish since they would send each other voice notes, pictures, and I saw the call and FaceTime logs. They met from a strange conservative subreddit back in January when the girl was 18, and that was the main focus of their conversations. However, she would flirt with him and he would flirt back. They also had this strange dynamic of him calling her a little girl and she would call him an old man. He would also send her dirty images and she would reciprocate. A few months ago, she sent a picture of her breasts and he said, "Those are the most perfect tits I have ever seen." This comment bothers me so much because I breastfed our children. Jesus, anyways, I thought this was a sugar baby situation, so I checked our bank accounts, but nope. He never sent money and she never asked for it. Makes me even more mad because I think they both genuinely liked each other. It also disturbs me because he was upfront about him being married with children and she just didn't care. I know she is a young kid and doesn't hold all the blame since my husband messaged her first, but she still answered. What sent him off is that the girl got mad that my husband called her a racial slur. My husband is a white man and this girl is a Latina. From what I read, this girl does ballet, so she would send him images of her doing inappropriate positions. Well, a month ago, this girl sent him a picture of her doing the splits in her bedroom, and he sent her a voice message that said, "Instead of fooling around in your bedroom, why don't you clean your room like a good little / insert racial slur / She was extremely offended by this and sent him a long paragraph and then blocked him. He kept trying to apologize, but the messages wouldn't go through since he was blocked. That was the day he began to get angry. I already cried and broke some things. He doesn't know that I know, and I intended to keep it that way for now. The divorce lawyer has been called and I hope the divorce will be finalized soon enough. Edit. Thank you all so much for the support you have given me. I did take screenshots and sent them to my phone. He still has absolutely no idea that I know and have proof. It was tough eating dinner with him and the kids knowing the truth. We are divorced in my mind, but not on paper, so I have to keep it together. A lot of you pointed out how the girl is very young and shouldn't take the blame for it. I honestly feel bad for her because a normal 19-year-old would not be looking for attention from a man as old as my ex. Something may have happened to her to want attention from old men. However, I do believe she is old enough to know right from wrong. I pray she doesn't do this again and finds a nice boy her age that treats her well. I also have no intent of contacting her. There is no point. I will update if there is anything that occurs. However, for now, I am going to try and pretend like nothing is wrong. I hope I win an Oscar after this. Another edit. I was not aware my husband was racist. We have known each other since college and I have never heard a racist thing from him or his family. I am white and his past girlfriends were also white, so I also never knew he had a fetish for Latino women or had something against them. From the messages I read, they both fetishized their age gap rather than skin color. I also want to mention that I am pretty sure the girl was 18 when they met because he asked for ID and she sent him her entire driver's license, full face, birthday, state. Clearly not the brightest girl in the world. The fact he even asked for her ID is disturbing. I will mention this to the divorce lawyer. Comments: your future ex-husband is a creep. Not only was he cheating, but he was cheating with a teen and fetishizing her race. You're doing the best thing by keeping your cards close to your chest. Good, take it all. Let her keep your ex, lol. Why do women want what other women have? A 19 years old who can have an unused man, lol. No drama, no kids, no ex. But she decided to keep entertaining one with kids and a wife, lol. Next story. Should I, 33/F, tell everyone the real reason I left my husband, 34/M? Let's get 1,000 subscribers by the end of September. I really want to earn money on this channel to improve the quality of content and the number of videos. Love you. So I actually moved out from living with my husband about 1.5 years ago, but we were basically separated for months before then. Everyone asks what happened because we apparently did a pretty good job of giving the illusion of a happy couple. I suck at lying. I've listed some of the issues in our marriage, but I still get people, mostly both of our parents, asking why we broke up and couldn't work it out. So the marriage was doomed from the start. 1 month after we got married, I found out that he was cheating on me for the majority of our 6-year relationship before the marriage. I felt trapped because I had just found out I was pregnant a month before we got married. I went off birth control because we wanted children and didn't expect to get pregnant immediately. And we closed on our first home together the day after we got married. If I had found out just 2 months earlier, none of those things would have happened. We had literally just settled down and then that bombshell was dropped on me. I didn't tell anyone because I knew everyone would hate him, but he was the father of my child and I wanted to give her a good life. Plus I didn't want to be a single parent and go through the pregnancy and birth alone. So I stayed. He also begged me not to tell even his family or his friends because he was so ashamed of it. So I had to suffer in silence. Never told anyone that. Of course this grew into resentment. I didn't really hate him, but I wasn't in love with him anymore. I stuck it out through 7 years of marriage until I realized life was short and I didn't want to be with him anymore. The nail in the coffin was after he lied to me about his income, leading us to purchase a home that was way out of our budget. A home I never wanted and constantly told him I felt it was more than we could afford. But he kept showing me charts and numbers that showed we could easily afford it. He fudged the numbers and I didn't notice. When I found out, I forced him to sell the home and we went our separate ways. When people ask, I mentioned that lie and other sneaky financial things he's done, secret credit cards, etc., as the reason for our separation. But he begged me not to tell people that he cheated, especially not his family or my brother, who he is close to. But people can tell I'm lying, and I'm worried that they may think that I was the one that cheated. A few months before we purchased that big expensive house, I started a conversation with my husband about how I was starting to want to see other people. I wasn't asking to cheat. I either wanted us to work through that or to separate. But he brought up an open marriage, so I figured why not? Maybe it could work out. If not, we're on the outs anyway. Surprise, surprise, it didn't work out. I didn't mind him being with other people. It was better to be out in the open about it. But he was insanely jealous when I started relationships with other men. But I ended up meeting my current boyfriend during the open part of my marriage. Many people know my BF and I were close during the end of my marriage, and it really seems like that I either cheated or left my husband for my boyfriend. My husband and I gave the story that we started seeing other people before we moved out and announced our separation. He even told everyone that he started dating someone first, but I still worry people think I cheated. Since we're both tight-lipped on what really ended our marriage, it's also kinda lonely that no one really knows what I went through. And it kinda isolated me. A part of me wants to just tell everyone, but right now my husband and I have been amicable. We've done everything outside of the courts. He's giving me plenty of financial report. I feel like if I start blabbing then he can cut me off. Then I'd have to go through the court and see about getting court-ordered support and it can be a whole mess. It's best to just say friendly and keep his secret. Dr. husband cheated and I told no one and didn't leave until 7 years later. We're amicably separated and he gives financial support that we agreed upon outside of court. I'm worried that the details of our separation makes it look like I was the cheater. And also it's just really lonely to never tell anybody about it. Should I keep it quiet or finally let people know the truth? Comments. Once the divorce documents are final, speak your truth to whoever asks. Keep the peace until then. You can simply say you were only being honest to those who asked but never volunteered the truth. Yeah, I think this is probably what will happen. Once our lives are completely untangled, there really isn't much more reason to keep his secret, other than it gives a higher chance of our daughter finding out, and I'm not sure if I want her to know. I'm so sorry you went through this in silence. You don't want your daughter to know, and as a young child, I can certainly understand that, but as adults they find out anyway and learn to be better partners because of it. Congratulations on your freedom and a happier future. Freedom is letting the truth come out organically. I, 24M, found out that my GF, 21F, cheated on me a year and a half ago. Please subscribe to my channel. I, 24M, found some messages between my GF, 21F, and one of her male friends. We have been together for about 2.5 years. We were long distance for the majority of the time. She was living in CA and I was in TX until December of 2022 when she moved to TX so we could live together. The other day, I asked to use her laptop so that way I could use it for my current side hustle since I didn't want to do everything from my phone. While I was using it, something told me to look through her messages. I'm not the type to go through her phone or socials because I trust her, but my gut told me to just look. As I was going through the messages, I saw one of her male friends' names who she used to hang out with a lot and started to snoop. As I was scrolling, I saw their older messages from early last year that went something like this: "Guy, did you want more to happen? Be honest, LOLGF. I thought it would, but I'm still kind of anxious, so I think it's best that nothing more did happen, guy. Promise you, no reason to be anxious on my NGF. Good to know, but it was my fault, so I do apologize for any confusion or misleading. I couldn't control myself and I should have been more respectful, guy. Wasn't any confusion or misleading. I wanted to kiss you so bad. TBH, I really want to fuck you. Not trying to be disrespectful or anything, just being honest. GF, again, I'm sorry for what I did, guy. It's okay. I still had a great time with you. GF, I also had a great time with you a couple weeks later. He even states how he misses seeing her, and how one day when they were hanging out with their mutual friends, that he couldn't take his eyes off her, and how he was thinking things and wanted to be touchy with her, and how cute she looked. Even more messages asking to hang out just a few weeks following what happened. Went to the messages between me and my GF for the dates they hung out, and each time she never mentioned him. She lied and said that she would be hanging out with her female friends from work. I was working night shift during this time and the signal at my job wasn't the greatest, so although we share locations, I never bothered to check because I trusted her. Not to mention, whenever I went to visit her in CA, she even tried to get him to meet up with us. She actually had the audacity to try to plan something with the three of us, knowing good and well what she did. Not once did she ever mention what happened between them for a year and a half. When I confronted her, she said she didn't plan on saying anything either because all they did was kiss, and I'm not even sure if I should trust what she says considering she was willing to keep it a secret for so long. We are currently staying with my parents while we find a new place, since there was an incident that happened at our previous apartment complex, but now I'm not sure if I even want to move forward. I love her and care about her, and while we have been able to work through other issues in the past, I'm not sure if we can resolve this. She broke my trust. She hurt me. We talked about getting married and starting a family. Part of me thinks I should just let it go, since it happened a while ago, but the other part of me is saying I should end the relationship. Advice? Should I leave or should I stay? TLDR, my GF cheated on me a year and a half ago, and I don't know what to do. Comments. Did she also say why she lied about who she was hanging out with every time she was with him? And how that seems more likely they did more than kiss, and she's just using a narcissistic approach to minimize and trickle truth to situation. No, she didn't say why she lied. While I was able to keep cool during the conversation, I didn't think to ask why she did. I'll add that to the list because I still have more questions and update the post later tonight. Let's get 1,000 subscribers by the end of September. I will be very grateful. Love you.